Off script, with Jab on the mic. Every story, every stumble, every late night rewrite. Pull back the curtain, hear the real talk. Off script with Jarvis, Jab, let the conversation start.
Yeah, you've been on the move.
You know,
Like, on
we
the
love
move.
it, Stagecoach, Coachella,
Which is
Super
crazy.
Bowl, Jazz Fest. It's been a
Yeah.
crazy start of the year, dog. It's been a
I mean, let's
crazy.
start at Coachella then, since we're here. How was that?
Well, let's start at Coachella. What's up?
Yeah, how was that for you, man? The both shows, by the way, we watched.
Yeah,
Incredible.
preach, bro, preach.
How'd it feel for you?
Man, Coachella, dude, it was a vibe. First weekend, we had David Lee Roth, we had Vanessa Carlton, we had Joe Jonas. Crazy features, bro. Just
Insane.
vibes, bro. Just vibes.
Yeah.
Coachella itself was a little weird, influencers, a lot of the, yada yadas. The first weekend was.
Backstage stuff.
The backstage stuff, we already know the politics behind it, but never mind all of that. I mean,
Right.
just the energy that we had, the energy our guests brought,
Yeah.
the show flow, the show preparation, everything, bro. We was too excited to, do Coachella weekend 1
Yep.
and weekend 2, and just do what we do and have fun. That was our first time doing Coachella, so we definitely enjoyed it, bro, for sure.
Still not done it yet.
Come on, man, all the festivals that we done shared, all the festivals you done, like the
Yeah.
Lollapaloozas, the European Johns, and
Yep.
li
Coachella's
come
the
on,
last one I need to just go ahead and knock that out properly, you know what I'm saying?
bro.
But you and I
I
have been on the move for festivals
for
anyways.
festivals, bro, South America, Europe, we done crossed some
Yo,
paths that I was not expecting to see
I mean,
you
that's how we
at, bro.
first got locked in.
That's
Yeah,
how
I
we
mean, it
first
was
got locked in.
we were in South America, and that
Y
was like
What was it, Chile?
Chile was the first joint.
Chile?
Yep,
And then we
and then
went to Argentina together, same day.
mhm. We've been on the same flights and everything.
Dog, that's
That
crazy, man. So I love seeing the guys not in the
mhm.
States, you know what I mean? Or at the airports and stuff like that.
Bro, I feel
That's
like
such a
that's when
that's
I
such a
always see the
feeling,
homies.
always
I
do.
never see the homies stateside.
I've noticed that myself recently, like,
Like,
never see the homies stateside. I was just talking to, one of the other homies, in Charlie Puth's camp, and we got dates
mhm.
crossing in Madrid, Spain later this year.
Right, right,
Like,
right.
it's
Have you
like,
seen that show yet?
no, I haven't.
Yeah.
I seen the clips. I seen the clips.
Yeah.
I hit CJ and I was like, "Hey, bro, like drums are smacking." He was like, Shafe, our front of house, Schaefer got
Yeah,
that mug
bro.
dialed."
It
And
was
how was it, bro? Tell me,
it was
how was it?
phenomenal. It's you got Charlie number 1, who's exceptional, and he's a musician, and he's a real musician on the sense of, like, he can do what he wants to do, he can play what he wants to play, like, he understands. And then you got Derek Cobbs as his MD. I mean, come on, you have the world's best right there. So you have those 2 minds orchestrating this entire thing, and then you have everyone in the band just
All-star,
insane.
all-star, literal all-star band.
And the BGVs, yo, I wish I need to find
That's
the dude's
new. Is
name,
that new?
bro. These
He
2
didn't have
young ladies.
BTV the last show I saw.
No. Yeah, this is a whole new vibe. They got two ladies and, 1 gentleman, and whoever that got Jaden is his name.
Jaden Gray.
What is it? We gonna look right now.
If it's Jaden Gray, that's Justin Timberlake. That's Adam Blackstone's first call. He's good friends with one of our BGVs, Devin. I think
Jaden
it's Jay.
Gray.
It might be Jaden Gray.
Yes, yes, Gray's his last name.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Gray is phenomenal.
Oh my word. I watched this man sing the draws off this entire audience. I'm like, "Yo, what's going on, bro?"
Yeah, bro. Jaden is amazing. I've yet to meet him myself personally, but I
Yeah.
mean, I just hear all the top tier stuff about him. Just
Entire team is on it. So I'm excited for y'all to you to catch the show. You'll have to text me right after and let me know what you think.
oh, I'm excited to see it myself. Like I'm so excited to see it myself. I'm I'm
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that for sure, bro.
Right. So where are you at in the world right now? Are you home?
Man, I'm home. I'm taking these moments to relax and decompress and
Mhm.
meditate, reflect on the first, quarter of the year.
Yeah, how's it been?
Man, it's been amazing, bro. Working and the preparation, um, the mental loads of preparation and rehearsals and deleting information, retaining information,
Yep.
um, it's a lot of brain power that goes into that.
Yeah.
Uh, so just taking the time though to reflect on, what was of the first quarter, appreciating those moments, Coachella, looking out into the crowd and, taking all of that in.
Right.
Same with Stagecoach, just we've done some amazing things to start this year, coming off of
Yeah.
a hot, 4 years. So, bro, just trying
That's so
to
insane to say.
it's so insane to say, bro, but for those who don't know, I know, me and Jarvis are doing this podcast, but me and Jarvis both have been running for quite some time.
Man.
And
And
my
running like this.
running in full circles, man.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
While it's a blessing, while it is always a blessing.
Absolutely.
It's just been a lot. And so
Yeah, what's
uh
the prep like though? Because I mean, that's a lot. You've had a lot of changes too, not
a lot
just
of changes, man.
show wise, but you had a lot of shows to prepare for, and you also swapped drums, right? You've made a lot of changes to your sound and that kind of stuff. So, what is that prep like for you? Because, well, let's start with the shows. How are you retaining information? What is your process when they're saying we got Super Bowl, we got Coachella, we got Stagecoach, we still got tour to get ready for? Like, what is that? All of that. What is that process for you?
I mean, all of that process, man, is really um literally just intentionality.
Mm,
As much as possible. Listening more than talking because
yeah,
you're coming into a lot of these new arrangements, new arenas, a new, levels, new dynamics, new TVs, the whole nine. So it's just a lot of information that, you're going to be you have to be very fluid and fast and retaining and keeping track of. And for me, that just looks like listening,
hmm,
and not just assuming that I know my MDs, I know my band members, as
right,
we go into new arrangements and new show formats. Our job as drummers, of course, is to musically lead the band. So
yeah,
in my leadership musically of drums, I'm taking the forevision and the foresight of those above me, and just trying to be as applicable and as flexible as they need me to be.
yeah,
Uh, and for the preparation, that really goes into I do my due diligence of reaching out even before we get to rehearsals. Like, hey, what is it that you're expecting, for me to be present in? What are
sure,
you expecting me to be diligent in as far as, my contributions to the band, my contributions to arrangements, the whole
right.
nine. So I feel like being on the front end of all of that information has allowed me to kind of retain the information even easier when we do get in the room.
Right, because you have the
So
standard, so you know what standard you're trying to match even as you're listening and trying to prep for it with your hands and stuff.
absolutely. So before
That's
I even
fair.
touch even before I even touch the scans, before I pick up the sticks, I want to make sure that me and my MD, JJ, and our co-MD, David Cook, I want to make
Mhm.
sure that, like, what do you guys need from me? What do you guys want from me? What is it that I'm able to be myself in and expressing myself? And what is
Yeah,
it that you guys want me to be by the book and, be rigid to? And I feel like with having that preparation already taken care of, it just makes it that more easier to dial in once I get into the room. And
for
especially when
sure.
everybody else is, kind of trying to lock in and see, what the flow is.
Right,
Because we all know how this goes. Well, we know how this goes. To
right.
those that's listening, you play these songs a million times over, and there's 70 different arrangements to all these same type of songs. So there's a
Legit.
minute 30 version, there's the radio version, there's the full length version, there's the TV version, there's
Yep.
the, you
Tour
know,
version.
the tour
Yeah.
version,
Yep.
so with all these different type of arrangements, it's what are we keeping? What do you want me to set up? What do you want me to have here? What do you want for tonalities? Whether it's more hybrid kit, whether it's more the full kit, so
Yeah.
I take all of that into consideration, take my notes. Musicians, take your notes. You're never too good to
Okay,
take.
that's great. Do you actually do handwritten notes? What's your process for making sure That kind of stuff is happening for you.
It's some of a mixture. If it's new material, I will still write it out.
Yeah,
Just because they teach you in school, if you write it out, you're easier to remember it. And
typically,
so
yeah, for sure.
typically you're
Mhm.
easier to remember if you write something out. So I still will, write and journal, some small ideas, some small notes
Right.
musically that I know what the chart means. And then, I'll apply that however I need to. Typically, it's a mix of that, or it's a mix of, uh, getting in the repetition of making voice notes and humming,
Yeah.
certain setups, scatting certain setup,
Yeah.
all of that type of stuff.
Yep.
I wanna hear it before I play it. I wanna see it before I play it. I wanna, write it out before I play it.
Yeah.
And, that all just makes the process just so much smoother when we
For
actually
sure.
get into the room of rehearsals.
Are you doing do you listen first? Like, how soon are you putting your hands on the music? Are you going a few days just listening only, or are you jumping straight behind the kid?
Well, it just depends on how much time that we have personally. You know
Sure.
what I mean? Like,
Right, right, that's fair too.
it just depends on really what's going on. Like right now, I'm sitting at home. I'm at home for quite a few days.
Mhm.
If they sent us something right now, I wouldn't even touch it. I wouldn't even think about touching it. I'll throw it in the car, listen on a couple drives, you
Yeah,
know, type of vibes. Just be real relaxed with it. And then as I want to, then I may start to, mess around on a couple concepts on the kit or whatever like that. If we're on the move and we're moving, I mean, it's just pretty much lock and go. Listen 2 times over, intentionally listen 2 times over,
yeah,
intentionally, like, lap play or something like that the next 2 times to see if I can get the groove and the basic patterns, and
yeah,
then, after that, it's and depending on how much time I have, I'll also, still write it as well,
sure.
just to make sure that I'm trying to be solid on it, but it just varies, you know what I mean? It just depends on how
Yeah.
fast it's moving.
What's your intentionality though? Like, are you and the only reason I'm asking is I recently did a consultation with somebody, and one of their assignments was I gave them a song to play. And I'm like, "Yeah, listen first, do all the right stuff." I kinda guided him through this process, and then he came back to me and said, "Oh, yeah, I listened to like 10 times." I'm, "Okay, I'm expecting great."
Perfection.
You know what I'm saying? Or pretty damn close, right? You should digest the information. But then come to find out he was listening on a drive, he was listening as he was talking with his girlfriend, he was listening at I'm like, "I see. You had it on. You really weren't paying attention." So, what is that intentionality for you? Like, what are you doing?
I mean, the intentionality for me, if I'm breaking down, if I'm assuming you're going by like a song by song breakdown of if I'm getting music, what am I listening to?
Yep.
The very first time I'm listening to the song in totality. I'm not listening for my part. I'm not listening for any musical standouts or anything else like that. I'm listening to the song as is. What is the record? What is the artist trying to convey with this message of the song? What
Yeah.
is this project that I'm listening to? The second time, it'll be like, all right, let me, I kind of hear the vibe. I hear the lyrical content. I hear the melody. I hear what's going on. I hear the song as it is. Let me kind of put more ear placement on the musicality side of it.
Sure.
And then by like time 3 or 4, then it's like, all right, what am I hearing for drums? What am I hearing sonically for drums? Uh, and then I'll even go back a little bit and be like, all right, forget the drums. By time like 6 or 7, I listen to the whole song again as is,
Mhm. Yeah.
and then seeing like, oh, okay, this is why the drums sound like this throughout the song. Then by like time 8 or 9, that's when it's like, all right, patterns are doing this. Kick is, already because by at our level, by the 8th time, we should already know the
You
feel,
should
the
know what you're
groove.
doing. Yeah.
You should know
Yeah, I
you
agree.
should know the song. Even though you
Yep.
don't know the song, you should know the song.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
So by 8, 9, especially 10, if I haven't already written it out, like I'm pretty more so locked into what the drums is doing, how that's implementing with the groove, and uh, and by normally by 8, 9, 10 times, I'm pretty solid to go into rehearsal and be like, "All right, I know this to play it." And
Right.
then we'll get in the room, we'll dissect the parts, we'll, solo the stems and stuff like that. And then, we won't even worry about arrangements until, of course, the song is already done. But the
Sure.
process of learning the song is just my intentionality is to, one, understand the song for what it is and not what I want it to be, number one.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
And I feel like that's not expressed or talked about enough because we all have a lane that we want to go to musically, especially on our instrument. We all have a certain phrase and a certain setup, a certain, verbiage that is
Yeah.
us
100%.
as
Yep.
musicians. But we gotta, allow the music to be the music itself and not what we want it to be. So
Yeah.
my intentionality is to listen to the music and the record for what it is and not what I want it to be.
I feel like that's a skill.
It is, because I mean, it's a
Really is
certain
a
discipline.
skill.
You know what I mean? It's a certain
Yeah.
that we no matter the instrument that we all have to be able to, as opposed to like, a tritone chord over, a
Hmm.
major 3 chord, so it's
Right.
like, those type of things, subbing when you're on bass or subbing in guitars, whether as opposed to hitting the root notes, like there's
Right.
things that we wanna do, but we still have to make sure the music is the music first.
Yeah.
So, listen to the music as is, not what I want it to be, then listen to my part, you know, get the feel for it, listen to the music again with knowing the basics of my part. And then, by the time I sit on the kit, I'll play the record, but then I can, I'm comfortable enough hearing it to know what I can do that's me and what
Sure.
definitely is fundamental and foundation to the song.
That's an important distinction.
Yes.
Knowing where you can take a liberty and where you can't take a liberty. How did you develop that? Are you just going for it and then kind of bringing it back? Are you a little more reserved at the gate? Or are you saying to yourself, because I've heard it so much, I know where I can stretch, or I also know where a guitarist might take that moment, so Imma stay out the way. You know what I mean? Or is that what is that process like for you? Are you intentional in that sense as well?
It depends on, the situation that's going on. Like with Ted and, Freak Freely and the guys, we know each other. Musical liberties is very open because we are so familiar. But I learned this tool the hard way. I got chewed out in my early days
Yeah.
of, you know, of doing too much, musically and, being told to dial it back. But one thing I've always heard and respected from, my peers and mentors is, if you have the goods and, all of that good stuff, it's easier for us to tell you to bring it back than for us to tell you to, go for it.
Sure.
Um, so with that, I just learned through trial and error over the many years I've played, the many genres I played, of knowing just when and when not to.
Mhm.
Something small as a extra snare hit or extra, kick hit. It doesn't always have to be an actual extravagant, situation. A
Yep.
certain songs, we'd be surprised how much as drummers, just not even hitting the crash on the one. Like sometimes give so much space and so much liberty for,
Yeah.
a different transition or a different segue. So I mean, just small stuff that I've learned throughout my
Mhm.
time of playing. And I've definitely had just, huge mentor figures, just beat, a certain type of ways into me because they saw
Sure.
the potential and, they just wanted to be like, hey, you got it, but hey, dial it back like when in a setting like this. Go for it in a moment like this. But
Yeah.
ultimately, you got it. Just pull it back some. And then when they want you to, they'll tell you. And so
Sure.
it just came with, certain certain disciplines. Growing up in
Yeah.
church, we know what it's like in church. They want you to go for it all the time. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like they want you to go for it all the time.
With the right feel though, because they will get
With
your
the right
ass
feel.
up.
They sure will. They'll definitely also like, hey, they'll
Hey,
give
big
you that
dog.
scoop. Hey, big dog.
But they make you sit down.
And right there on the pew with
Yeah,
tears in
you
your
gotta still
eyes.
watch.
With
Yep.
tears in your eyes and everything. You still gotta
Yep.
watch.
They'll
The
hand you a pair
OG.
of sticks,
Drum
sit your
along,
ass right
like
there.
mime along, but sit your ass
Yep.
down and take care of this.
Absolutely.
Um, I mean, just trial and error, bro, of doing too much, and then sometimes not doing enough. There's
Yeah.
there's sometimes JJ has to tell me now, like, bro, I want you out more. Like, I want you out more. Like, no, take
Yeah.
this.
Yep.
No, take that. Like, no, don't give me a clean feel. Give me a shed feel, type
Yeah,
type
get in
John.
there. Yeah,
So
make it count.
get in there. Yeah,
100%.
get in there. Be yourself. Be expressive. Don't give me what you think the audience wants. Give me
Right.
what you want to play. This is that
Sure.
moment. Yeah. So it's just those moments and those type of interactions with the band or with your MD that kind of gives you the knowledge and the experience of knowing when the music wants it and when the music doesn't want it. So
Yeah, having a vocabulary to go either direction is important though, because the
very.
vocabulary of being able to stretch, if they're telling you to go, you need that, but you also need to have the discipline and you almost have to have like the joy in it to stay here too. If you can
Mhm.
stay right in that groove, if you can lock in for 8 bars for real, and I mean like a real eight, that also has incredible value. And it,
Dog, I mean, something as simple as I'll talk about it while it's popular in pop culture too. Something as simple as Billie Jean, you know what I mean? Michael
yeah,
Jackson,
yep.
Billie Jean. To go back and rewatch Ricky Lawson and Jonathan Moffat just literally holding
They
it
didn't
is literally
move.
kick, snare, and hats the entire song. The
Yes,
entire
bro.
song. Just locked. And there's just so much beauty in that space and just
The crowd ain't moving. The crowd is locked.
That is locked. And so it's beautiful, man, and we just need to appreciate more of the space as well as the
Yeah.
musical moments. It's beauty in the vocabulary of both.
I think it's
It's
just
beauty in the
music.
both in the vocabulary of both for sure. I
Being
mean
able to play music.
because and I mean, just even from seeing y'all show, I
Mhm.
mean, I know this is your podcast, but we talking nigga. We talking as bros right now.
Yes, sir.
To see y'all show at the festival, at Lollapalooza, I watched half side stage, I watched half front of house.
Yeah.
The intentionality that you, Darion, and the team that y'all put into what it was, it's like, oh, the spacing, the moments, the elements, top tier for sure.
Thank you,
And
brother.
then, in typical last show fashion, I saw y'all last show in Manchester. The show before the flight home. And for us that know, we know like that's
It's
that
takeoff time.
I don't
Yeah,
get
it's takeoff time.
I'm taking every slot.
Yep. I'm on it. Yep.
I'm on it. I'm having fun. And
Yep.
just to see the contrast of like y'all polished show versus like you having fun. Like your having fun wasn't you chopping all over Tate. It wasn't you,
No.
taking all of the dance slots and stuff like that. I mean, y'all did have some crazy syncopation. I like that you and
Well,
Homeboy had that
that's
moment
their right. That's
doing
their
doing home.
design. I
That's
just
their
play what
design.
they wanted me to play. Yep. That's their
Yeah, that was
design.
crazy. But I mean, just literally what we're talking about, the beauty of the vocabulary is like
Yeah.
when you were having your fun, it still wasn't in the way. And
Right.
Tate even it felt like even Tate enjoyed it. I mean, it was the last show. It seemed like, the whole crew,
Yeah.
dancers, the whole nine. You and my man on guitar, Zach. Is it
Zach.
Zach?
Yeah,
Right?
Zach.
Yeah, Zach.
Zach Fence. Yeah.
You and Zach,
Incredible.
bro, like y'all was so locked in. And just coming off of seeing the festival show and seeing the more pocket and the more, let's play the arrangements as we design them.
Yeah.
It's a beauty in knowing both. And that makes, you, Zach, us who knows how to separate the vocabulary more, in demand, more
Yeah.
valuable because
Yep.
it's easy to say, Jarvis, I want you to do this, but I want you to take this slot. Like hold
Right.
this right here and you execute it perfectly. And then if I'll be like, Jarvis, I don't care this day. And you just go for it and it's still tasteful and it still feels good to the audience.
Right.
And, I can trust you in multiple lanes, in multiple areas, in multiple, visions. So I feel like just having that flexibility, that vocabulary, that intentionality,
Yeah.
that's what really will put you at the next level of, being in demand and being wanted. Because if people can tell you more pocket and you deliver more pocket, and then
Yeah.
if people tell you I want more sauce and you deliver more sauce, having both vocabularies are extremely vital in today's time, especially of live music and live arrangements. So
Facts. Yeah.
So
First of all,
it's
thank
just
you.
trying to keep that, you know what I mean? Right.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Incredible words, brother. But yeah, you're saying a lot of dope stuff I want to talk to you about because even the word pocket is something that we're hearing. It's almost like a controversial topic right now. When
Mhm.
someone says pocket, people immediately think only play the part. And I'm like, that's not what pocket is.
That's not what pocket
And
is.
what is pocket to you? How are you interpreting if JJ is saying or Dave Cook is like, yo, Dre, I need you more in the pocket. What does that mean to you?
Doesn't necessarily mean simplicity, going from like a eighth note to a quarter note on the hi-hats and stuff like that, or taking out a kick pattern. No, it's literally just making the song feel more intentionally groovy. And
Yeah,
sometimes that is a little bit more sway on the hats and a little more swag on the hats. And
right.
just keeping the kick and snare straight
Yeah.
2 and 4 as you need to, or whatever like that. Or sometimes it's, if you're doing a little ride pattern, sometimes it's cool to hit like the Dave Weckl or the Vinny, and that's not
Yeah.
necessarily crashing out or like pinging everything, but like just every once in a while, just a little
Mhm.
sauce. The pocket is the very basic of the swag of the song. It is
Yeah.
not the simplicity of the song. Pocket is
Yeah.
the basic swag of the song. In my
Yep.
vocabulary, in my terminology, and what JJ asked for me, if what Ted asked for me, if what Dave Cook asked me, if anybody asked for me, it's just more swag of the pocket of the basic of the song, not the
For sure.
simplicity, not
Yeah,
taking
I
away
agree.
whatever like that.
Yep. Nate Smith said something that was he kind of put it in a way that I never heard it, but he's like, it's the space between each note, right? Because the meter is the meter. The thing that's gonna change it is the space between your next note. And I've
Yeah.
never heard Pocket really explain that way, but it's right. You and I could play the same exact groove and it's gonna feel different because of how the spacing that we had attached to it, along with velocities and blah blah. But
Yeah, of
that's
course.
really the difference. And I was like, I've never heard it put that way, but he's so right. Like he's
Oh, that
100%
is
right.
true. I never heard that either, but that actually is what it is. Man, and we have to understand musically that spacing doesn't always mean what we think is simplicity. Like
Right.
there is a good spacing of certain hi-hat patterns as drummers. I'm speaking drum terminology, but as
For
drummers,
sure.
like there's a certain spacing, extra chink or extra velocity in the hi-hats, like you're saying, like an extra ghost note or something like that on the kick.
Yeah.
A boom versus a ba-boom on the kick. All of
Yeah.
that is what determines the swag of the pocket, the spacing of the pocket.
Yep.
So I wholeheartedly agree with that. It's definitely the spacing
It's
between the meters.
crazy.
And
Like
everybody's pocket is different, bro. Me and you could play
everyone's different.
me and you could play the exact same song. If somebody says, Jarvis, you play your pocket, Dre, you play your pocket,
Mhm.
even though we're playing the exact same thing, just the smallest detail of a velocity, of a extra ghost note, extra change can change the song.
It
So
changed the whole feel of it.
it would change the whole feel of it. So
Yep.
just being viable, and being conscious of what that is, that
Right.
pocket, that swag, that spacing.
Yep.
I feel like that's what pocket is. You know,
I agree.
I hate getting, and I know we all see it. We're in the digital age. I hate getting on social media and seeing so many people talking about he's not in the pocket. Yes, he is in the pocket. Like
Yeah, he in there.
he's
Yep.
completely, this such and such is completely in the pocket. If the art if the artist is not complaining about a clip that is posted, you better believe that drummer is doing what he needs to do. That musician is
100%.
doing what they need to do. They're in the pocket. They're in the spacing. They're in the field and the realm that they need to be in sonically, musically, that the artist is looking for.
That's it. It's really just that simple. If
Yes.
people are posting it and they're not fired and everything's going all
Then
right.
everything is going all right. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
it's true.
but
Now
that
you brought up a
pocket,
point.
brother, like it's yeah, that intentionality, that pocket, that vocabulary, all of that plays in all of that. All of that.
100%. You talked about the digital age, which is something you and I have talked about off cam, of course.
Yeah.
And I know I have a list of things that you and I have talked about this all in our conversation. So hopefully we get to all of them. But one of the things is we talked about is a lot of times we're seeing people in the digital space of it's a lot of go, right? A lot of chopping, a lot of flair in. How do you feel about that kind of stuff versus kind of what we do? And then do you think there's a space for this to exist? Like, what's your philosophy, your interpretation on what we're seeing now on the social media space from musicians?
Man, the social media space for musicians, it's a very, very delicate balance. I feel I actually do love seeing like so many different versions of music and expressions and things of that nature. The part that social media music gets conflicting is posting arrangements and posting these moments, posting a lot of goals
Mm,
is not what the industry standard is. And
mm.
those who are seeking to be in certain levels of the industry are getting basically falsified information. If I know how to chop
Oof.
this head off, that can give me the call. If I know how to play every single sus and diminished and every augmented chord, that'll get me
Yeah,
this gig. If I know how to play every single sub note and every single, Isaiah Sharkey type lick or whatever like that,
sure.
Jimi Hendrix, that'll give me the gig. And actually that's not the case. And while it's good to show off that you can do it, it's
Right.
ultimately not what's gonna lead you to a gig. And sometimes it does, and I'm not gonna say that it doesn't, but that's not what the bar of expectations are when you
Right. It's
get
less
to.
likely.
Yeah, it's less likely, like, you get to these
Sure.
levels, so it's good to see, like, it is
Yep.
good to see. It's good to, get some inspiration off of. It's good to, see other people's, expressions of music themselves and see, what they will flip musically, and a lot of times it be dope.
Yeah.
But it line it for us that's, on a certain level, glory to God,
Hmm.
we know the fine balance of, like, that's dope, but that would never be applicable for
Sure.
what it is that we do.
Can
So,
you
I
talk
mean,
about
just
that though? Like, because I think people don't know, and I agree with you, by the way. I think people are getting a false scope of what we're actually doing. And they'll see our peers, which we love, go for it. And we know that was the only moment in the show that they took that. You know what I mean? That was the only
the
one.
only
But
moment.
they're they'll see that and they'll think, "Oh, I see someone on a stage," and I'm just gonna throw a name out there, like Sabrina Carpenter. And this is not saying Chris Johnson does that because Chris is one of my favorite drummers of
I'm
all
glad you
freaking
actually
time.
bringing him up. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, but they'll see somebody doing something and they'll be like, "Oh, I gotta do it that way." And it's like, nah, you don't have to chop to get to this position. And just because you saw that one bar literally of the go moment, you're thinking, "Oh, he got this gig because of that." No, you missed the other 90 minutes of the show where it was perfect precision, proper execution, setups were big, never distracting to the audience. The band was moving and grooving. He caught all the dance moments. Like, you missed all of that other information, and it's not their fault. It's sometimes we're putting it out there that way. So I would love to hear what's the hybrid? How do people understand what's good and what's not? How do we apply this?
Man, I'm glad that you even brought up Chris, man, because Chris in the social media age, Mike Reed, social media age, uh, all the Brian Fraser Moore, when
Yes.
they post clips, man, especially when it's like raw audio files, to hear their precision, to hear their placement, to hear their consistency. Sabrina Carpenter, Chris Johnson, he posted quite a few clips from the Coachella weekends. The way he plays Tears, like, just I mean, them
It's
16 notes
moving.
are going,
It's moving,
and he's doing it one hand. Like,
bro. On like
the
16-inch hi-hats too. It's ridiculous.
16 hi-hats, bro. Amazing,
It's
amazing.
ridiculous.
Those
They might be
moments,
15s, but he doesn't play small cymbals.
bro, his crashes are like 21, 22s.
It's ridiculous.
He
Anyway,
plays huge,
continue.
but it really is ridiculous.
We about to nerd out about this dude.
But the placement that they have, seeing Mike Reed with Justin Timberlake and like the Rihanna and stuff like that. Those shared moments, and I've even been guilty of it. You know what I mean? Like I posted the drum solo portion of our shows a couple times, and then I had to go back and I had to be like, wait a minute, like, while this is dope, like this is a very small percentage of the show, and I don't want it to be misled that, like the whole show is like this. Like I don't
Yeah,
want people to look at my clip and, see this and then be like, oh, is this what I'm gonna get at Teddy Swim show or whatever like that?
right.
I mean, because you are gonna get it, but the false narrative for musicians is that like we just have all that space and all those moments, and that's not the case. That's not the
No.
case at all. And so, with the social media age of those who are working and those who are striving to work, the disconnect is what is it that's what is that fine line that will put me to the next level of my discipline, of my craftsmanship, of my intentionality?
Yeah.
And I feel like the social media age of just choppy, 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 show off, arrangement is heavily influencing the next generation of musicians to thinking that this is what the industry standard is, and it's
Yeah.
not. And that's the only downside to the digital age
Yep.
of
I agree.
of social media musicians. It's not that you guys can't play. It's not that, you guys aren't inspirational. It's not
They're
that
killing. They're so good.
killing. It's
Like
so killing.
so good. Yeah.
But literally, like I see a lot of videos. You see a lot of videos. We talked about it offline. We see a lot of content and we see a lot of things that are absolutely amazing and mind blowing, but you would never, ever, 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 ever see in a real life show. Even in moments
Yeah.
where the band can space out, even in moments where, moments
Yeah.
are there to curate. It's not enough knowledge it's not enough knowledge, or let me not say knowledge. It's not enough of transparency going on to say like, hey, when you get to these levels, even when in your moments, there is a lot going on around your moment. There is lighting cues. There is
Yes.
changes going on. There's costume changes going on. There's automations going on. There are, certain things that are programmed and, that are locked into this major structure of a show. Or even when you have a moment, you have still only a little gap to do what you want to do
Yeah. Yep.
that still has to make sense within this entire show.
Yeah.
I think the big disconnect is like playing and chopping is what's gonna get me to that level, and
Sure.
that's really not. It's the discipline and the intentionality. I've been seeing more so recently, personally, some people are starting to dial it back and, show more of like what an actual live arrangement version would be like for them.
For
I love
sure.
watching like the homie Ryan Strickland or
Mm-hmm.
Tony Lambert.
Yep.
I don't even know Tony, but I'm a fan of you, dog.
Yeah. 100%. Amazing.
They make clips that show like, hey, I could go there if I was on this gig, but this is how I would play it. They play it intentional. They playing the parts. They playing the electric, setups and everything else like that.
Yeah.
It was crazy enough, actually. Shouting out my boy Gabe. I feel like
Bennett.
Gabe Bennett. He
Mm-hmm.
got a lot of opportunities from doing the same thing. Gabe, me and him have never talked about this. Gabe, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, brother. You know my heart. You know me, dog.
Right. All coming
Um,
from a great place.
all coming from a great place. So Gabe used to put up a lot of, going for it clips.
Yep.
We all know Gabe. Gabe in our generation is one of the greatest out of the DMV, for sure, hands down.
Facts. That is a fact.
He got in the lab and started playing, parts and started, being himself in them parts. He got Party Next Door. He's,
Yeah.
doing this, he's doing that. And that's just a testament of like, yo, like
Gabe's incredible.
Everybody's watching, everybody sees, but there's just that disconnect. He's one of the ones that I feel like, yo, he was already working, but like he
Yeah.
took off once he started to show like, hey, yeah, like I'm more than just, church, or I'm more than just like I can go for it. Like, and I feel like that's the disconnect because there's so much work out here and we know this, but people are gonna go to who they know has the vocabulary and the discipline to do what they need. And you
Yeah,
showing every social media clip of you just chopping is not necessarily what an artist or an MD or management would need. So I feel like,
distracting.
it's just a lot to the social media digital age, bro. Like
Yeah.
it's a pro and a con. Like it really is.
Yep.
It's a pro and a con.
I was thinking
So
is you just gotta decide what you want people to know you for, and that's really what you're putting out there. If you look at my page, you have a pretty good idea who I am as a person. If you go look at your page, I have a pretty good idea about what you want me to know about you. And I think that's smart. You're allowed to control the narrative in that sense of what you show people. If I go to your page, I don't see a bunch of drugs. I don't see you drinking and doing all that stuff. It doesn't mean you may not partake in a beverage from time to time. It just means I don't need you to have the first glance of me with a beverage in my hand. It's the same thing plan wise. If
same
you're
thing, bro.
an MD or a musician that is potentially looking for somebody, or you just wants to improve your circle, because we all want to do that. I need to know what you can and cannot do. If I only see the takeoff moments, I'm unsure. And on the same side, if I only see you locking into this one bar groove that you played for, whatever, I appreciate both, but I can't trust both. I need to see all the elements of it. So I think I'm glad you brought that up. It's just like people need to understand that there's pros and cons, and you're allowed to show both. It's okay with that. You just got to decide, what do you want people to know you for, and are you okay with the lights going down because you played something more simple? And
No,
that's big.
that's real, bro. That's big because I mean, it's so easy to go viral when when you're taking off. We know this. Like, those who are not average musicians and even average listeners, they see somebody playing drums real fast. Oh my God, he's amazing. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yep.
And
Yep.
it is true, but it's easier to take off as opposed to somebody who's actually, just playing the pocket, playing the music for what it is. And that concept is boring to the
Right.
average listener, to the
Yeah.
average, musician. So it is a huge, pro and con, and it's a very heavy disparity between them, between the two. I feel like, if you just know how to, use and you know what? I'm glad that you said this. Um, I'm glad that you said this. If you know how to use your social media tool in general, it kind of will, put you where you need to be. It's, I see a lot of us on social media, and I'm saying us as, musicians and the whole nine. You are
Yeah.
allowed to be your own man. You are allowed to be who you want to be. But what we don't talk about enough is also that you represent a brand, and your
Mm,
playing and your personality is no longer yours the moment that you're called for a gig. You're now associated with the artist that you work for.
yeah.
So if the artist doesn't want, you know, a musician that is gonna be combative or that's gonna, musically be combative. I'm not even talking
Sure.
about I'm talking like if you're gonna be approaching a gig where like I'm playing and I'm having my fun and, whatever like that,
Right.
that all will translate. And so if you're not locked in, with your social media to, promote the good parts of your playing, the good parts of yourself, the good parts of your personality. Like all of that is a tool to kind of help you get to the next level. And if it's just chops, if it's just pocket, if it's you firing off and it's all the drinking and the partying and stuff like that. Now look,
Right.
there's some artists that don't care. You
Sure.
just you just do whatever you need to do. But there is just a
Risky.
certain it is risky, man. And,
It's
and
risky.
there's just a certain being and personality that you wanna be, and I think the name of the what I've learned not I think, what I've learned, the name of the game is you want to reduce anxiety. You never wanna make
Hmm.
anybody anxious.
Okay.
You
What do you
wanna re
mean?
you wanna reduce all the anxiety of your MD, of your management, of your artist. If I'm calling you for a gig, it's because I know you're a one-stop shop. I ain't gotta worry about your gear. I ain't gotta worry about your tech. I ain't gotta worry about your professionalism as a musician.
Yep.
On the kit, I don't have to worry about your professionalism. Off the kit, like I know Jarvis Jeb Barnes is gonna come in, do this gig. He's gonna be a vibe. He's gonna be a hang. He's gonna give me what I'm asking for, and that's why I'm hiring him.
Right.
I don't have to be anxious about you. I don't have to be worrying about, are you going to be on time for bus call? Because I've seen
Mhm.
you be at church for 10 years before you got your first tour call every Sunday on
On
time for sound.
time. Right,
I've seen
right.
you never miss a corporate gig that wasn't your fault or whatever like that. Like, you always on top of your business, yada yada. I've never seen you miss a wedding date or whatever type of gig. You've always
Mm.
eliminated anxiety. You never made me
Yeah.
anxious. And
Yep.
meanwhile, there's musicians that, yo, you're super dope, but I know you're gonna be 5 minutes late. I know you're gonna be coming in, smelling like last night, hygienically. Like,
Right.
I
Yeah.
know you're gonna come in and you're gonna have an attitude about the arrangements or an attitude about the songs that we're playing. The name of the game, for real, when you get to certain levels, is like, you want to eliminate anxiety. You never want to be the anxious piece.
Yep.
The
You gotta
more
chill
that
out.
people have to talk to you, the more you really in trouble. Like, if ain't nobody talking to you and
Yeah,
you
you good.
working, you good.
You good.
The name of the game is, you're not gonna get compliments like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if the call is the compliment. The call is,
Right. Yes.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
you'll get the accolades, you may get a few thank yous, but like, the call is the compliment. The less people have to talk to you, the less they feel anxious. And so that is, an
That's
ideal
valuable.
situation to be in. You know what I
That's
mean? So
incredibly value. I think people need to really understand that. People will not work with you for either reason. You're not cool to be around, they won't want to work with you, or you can't do the job that they need you to do and they don't want to work with you. Like, you gotta be able to cover both, and like you're saying, that anxiety piece has gotta go
it's got to go
down.
down. I mean, we've all worked with musicians where you be like, dang, they dope.
And we've been them. I was one on.
And yes, and sometimes
Yeah.
we've been them. Yeah, so it's
Uh-uh.
okay to even say that. Sometimes we've been them, but like, we've all
Yep.
had a moment of, all right, I'll play. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yep.
don't want to
Yep.
be that guy. You don't want to be that guy. I want to be able to
Absolutely.
confidently say, Jarvis can do this gig. You ain't got to worry about him. He's straight. Like, he gonna be on his P's and Q's. He gonna be on your line so much. He's gonna over communicate. You're gonna have to tell him, Jarvis, chill out. Like,
You
he's
good.
gonna be so cool and so on top of his game. You're gonna have to tell him, like, bro, you're overthinking it. We're good. You're chilling. The whole night. That's the type of people that you want to be. That's the type of person that you want to be, especially when you're dealing with management.
Okay, talk about it.
Especially when you're dealing with, tour managers, production managers,
Yeah.
agencies,
Yep.
TV, the whole nine.
Yep.
Like, you want to be the person that they don't have to worry about if you can
Ever.
do your job ever,
Like, ever.
ever,
Like,
ever. And,
ever. If you could do
we
that, they remember that.
they remember that. Let's
I'm
call Jarvis
telling you.
back. He ain't give us
Yeah.
no problems, man. Like, we need to call Jarvis back. We need to call Zach back. Oh man, yeah, dude. Like, they were
They feel that way
phenomenal.
about everyone in the team, though. It's like, yo, if they had a great pyro or they had a great LD, like, they will fight for that person to come back because they literally
Exactly.
didn't bother them.
And I'll speak on that in our camp. Like, personally, bro, like, we have made it a point to feel like we're at such, our camps are similar.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
Teddy Swim Jaw, Jarvis is, Tate,
Yep.
and other people, but like, I'm talking on his take camp.
Sure.
Camps are family based, real family based. It rarely happens in the industry. Bro, we have literally, prepping for this year, we've called back majority of the people that we had, from last year. Like, you were phenomenal. You were excellent. Like, your troubleshoot skills were phenomenal. Your, your communication was top tier, the whole
Mhm.
nine. Like, just so many things about, like, creating anxiety in a professional level. Like, something as small as, if you're gonna take management or your direct superior. So if you're in the tech world and you're talking to your crew chief, or if you're talking
Yeah.
to your assistant PM, your production coordinator, if you're gonna bring a problem to them, also bring a series of solutions
Come on.
as well. You know what I mean? Don't just say,
Yeah.
oh shoot, the tube is broke. Go to them and say, oh shoot, the tube is broke, but I already reached out to the manufacturer. They haven't reached back out to me yet, but I also looked on Amazon to see if there was a amicable, tube that could
Right,
replace.
right, right, right.
You want to be on top of it. You want to Don't
Mhm.
give them anxiety. You give them, peace, and you give them a calmness and knowing that you know how to do your job.
Yeah,
Same
team
with drum.
players.
Team players, bro. Same with drum, same with keys, same with musicianship, same in the tech world. If you're watching this in any capacity of touring, you want to be the person that your team knows that they're gonna fix the job even before I know it's a problem. And that's
Right.
the person that you want to be in the industry.
Yep, you need to be dependable. It's
Dependable.
it's really and he's saying to any field, man. Like this is why I love Monks, my tech. Monks is my brother, but I can. There's times where Monks will be like, "Man, sorry, we're running scrambling," and I'm literally like, "I don't care. Like you're gonna get it done, and
You're
I
gonna
know
get
you're
it.
gonna get it done, and I trust you. So you really don't. Thank you for telling me. Truly, like thank you for letting me know. But bro, I trust you. If it's not up, like if the kid isn't up for whatever reason, I know it's not because you didn't care. And it's because something else happened. But I'm
Mhm.
sure whenever you get to it, it's gonna be perfect because
Exactly.
you are dependable. I trust you to get the job done.
Yes, sir.
I will call him all of the time. Like all of the time. I referred him to you when you were looking for somebody.
Yep,
I'm like,
yeah.
take Monks. Monks is at the crib. Like that's how you work though. When you're dependable and people can trust your name, I didn't hesitate to be like, yo, Dre, hit Monks. It may or may not work. You know what I mean? It's just the right
Yeah,
thing to
yeah,
do when you
that's
could
real.
depend on somebody. I know how valuable that is. And I was like, yo, my man, you need go ahead and take one.
Exactly. Like if you need, and that's what you want to be in the industry. Like
Yeah.
all the moments that Monks has looked out for you, made sure that you were straight, took away your anxiety, made you comfortable. Moments that you knew, moments that you didn't even know, and then you come back and you're like, Monks, is this different? Like this was different than last time,
Yeah.
and it still works perfectly fine. It's still more. It's probably even more efficient than what you originally thought the whole nine. Like once there's a level
Right.
of trust there, monks became super easy to, be adaptable to what it was that you was looking for, the vision that you was looking for. And all of this goes into the same. You want to be that person that is you're giving to the vision. And the
Hmm.
vision is more than likely not yours. And so even musically, the vision is not yours. You are but a
Oh,
small
that's so true.
you are but a small cog in this big
Yeah.
old clock.
Yep.
Like you It is a massive machine, and so you don't wanna be the one that's, causing anxiety to slow the clock down, man. Like, they remember
Yeah.
that. They
Talk
remember that.
about that though, because I think people miss that. It's not your vision. It's
It's not,
not
man.
your vision.
I
What
think
what
I
does that mean? Like,
look,
how does someone understand that?
I think the hardest part in musicianship is that we take this massive pride in our musicianship, our creativity, our musicality, and naturally there builds an ego in that pride. You're
Sure.
proud of who you are as a musician. And ego doesn't necessarily mean, I'm the best and yada yada yada.
Or
What? No,
difficult. Ego
no,
doesn't have to
yeah,
be
or
difficult.
even
Yeah.
difficult. Yes, your ego is literally just, your basic confidence.
Yeah.
We
Yep.
all have a basic confidence in our musicianship, in our tech world, whatever like that. That still has to die to. That still has to die to to
Yes.
empower the envision of who you're working for. I
Yeah.
may have a certain workflow that is proficient for me. If that's not what JJ wants, if that's not what DC wants, that's not what Teddy wants.
Doesn't
Who am
matter.
I? It doesn't
Right.
matter. It's not my vision. It's not.
Right.
No, my name is, on the marquee. Freak Freely's name is on the marquee. Yeah, okay, cool. That's fine and dandy. But everybody is coming to see Teddy Swims. They know
Facts.
that his band, Freak Freely, is gonna be there. We thank God
Right.
that, he looks out for us. But
Right.
we still are a band that is fully dependent on our artist, who
Yes.
is Teddy Swims. So if
Right.
Teddy says, I want this, I need this, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that. I don't care how much of a way it makes me feel. It's his vision.
Right.
And I
Yeah.
think we all need to understand that in totality, whether you're a front of house engineer, whether you're a sound engineer, whether you're a playback engineer, whether you're a tech,
Yeah.
like your job ultimately is to give the vision that is bestowed by the artist. I respect so heavily the Taylor Swifts and the Beyoncés and,
Yes.
the Justin Timberlakes and the Justin Biebers to know the workflow from, a lot of the people who's worked with them. They are involved in every aspect of their show,
Yeah.
from the sound design to the front of house sound
Yes.
to lighting to
Yep.
automation to set design to trust. I mean, the whole nine. Like, those are
Yeah.
artists that I know off the top of my head that are involved in every aspect of the show. That is their vision. That is their baby. If
Yes.
I'm entrusted this little small part of what this is of their baby, I am not gonna be the one to derail that train. I
Right.
am not gonna be the one to derail that train. Sometimes as musicians, our ego will, allow us to be in a moment of funk emotionally,
Sure.
which they can feel, which that, you play in that. Like, we got to understand our musicality is a very sensitive thing. Our emotions in our playing comes out. If you're frustrated,
Yeah.
it comes out. If you're happy, it comes out. If
Yep.
you're calm, it comes out. If you got stuff going on at home, it
It
comes
will
out.
come
Like,
out.
it comes
Yes.
out. Like,
Yes.
so you
Yes.
have to literally get on stage. You have to literally get in rehearsals. You literally have to get on these platforms and in these moments and say, this is not about me, but this is about the vision of the artist. And I need to submit to that. Like, I need to submit to that. And what we don't have, one thing I do want to dial into this is that there are um, a lot of musicians that start in the church world. There's a lot of musicians that start in, corporate worlds and,
Mhm.
and that nature. Guys, those levels are literally the same things that you're gonna deal with in these levels. So if you're not
Yes.
taking yourself seriously in the church world, if you can't be on time for your Sunday morning sound check, if you can't listen to your local MD at church or the pastor or whatever like that,
Yeah.
if you can't listen to the band leader at your corporate gig or whatever like that, those are the same situations and conflicts that you will find yourself in here. The only difference is you only got one time here. And they gon'
Facts.
before the end of the day, they gonna send you your flight ticket and say, "Thank you so much. It's
Yeah.
been well.
Yep.
We don't need your services no more." That's the only difference. But you're
Yeah, you
gonna
got it.
face
Yeah.
literally the exact same things. So
The
I don't
stakes are higher. That's it.
the stakes is higher, that's it. Margin of
That's it.
error is so much smaller.
Yeah.
Just come in, kill your ego, do what you need to do, and get out the way. Like,
That training ground's important though. Like what you
that
just
training ground is
described,
important.
it's very important. I think people have this idea of, oh, once I get to a certain level, then this will happen. Or once I get to a certain level, all of this frustration goes away and all this other shit. And I feel them because I'm sure I know for me, I've had that thought process for so long.
Definitely. I definitely have.
I can't wait to get on the A gig. There's no way I'm dealing with this. No, I'm dealing with this. Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are. 10
Yes,
times
you
more.
are.
10 times
It's
worse.
right. It's worse because the stakes are higher. There's more money involved. There's someone's dream that's much bigger. And it's not just, and this is no knock to anyone doing bar gigs or corporate gigs or anything like that. It's nothing, no knock there, but it is different. There's people when you're going to a wedding or going to a corporate gig, they're already drinking. They're expecting to have a good time. They're not expecting perfection out of the band. They're not expecting flawless execution of parts and all because
They
person
don't care.
that wrote it is not on the stage.
Exactly.
But then now when we go into a space that we're blessed to be in, where we're supporting iconic artists who are they're in their dream, they wrote the song, they were with the producers, they were with the engineers, they sat in the A&R room, they went back to the mixing, they gave notes, they recut the harmonies. Like you're sitting with the person that is doing the thing right now.
It is
So
doing it.
now we have to make sure that everything that they've put into this before we even knew it was a song, because the only reason we found out that it was a song is because it came out. No one sent it to us first to be like, what did you think? No, they did all the parts before. And then we heard the song after we found out, hey, Dre, I got an opportunity. What's your availability? You tell them and they're like, okay, it's going to be with Teddy Swift. Not first you find out the name.
Mm-mm.
It's what's your availability?
It's your availability.
And then based off that answer, Then we decide if we want to move forward. So all that to say is like that's very important to understand that when we're sitting here killing that ego, it's not that you're not confident in what you do. It's the exact opposite. It's like I'm super confident in my ability to be able to hone in on whatever it is that you want.
You want.
Whatever you want, I got you. I just need to know what you want. And once I figure that out, I'm gonna give that to you every single time. Like my job is to your point, I don't want to be a distraction. I don't want to any artist I'm supporting, especially like because Tate's the most recent is happening. That's such a dance show. You saw it multiple times. It's like there's a lot of people that are depending on me to hit this certain thing. You know, you're sitting in a seat where it's very soulful and it's a very much it's a massive feel spectrum and they're depending on you to lay that foundation so Ted can go. So all your guitars can move around. So JJ can reharm something comfortably because it's like, yo, Dre ain't moving.
Yeah.
Dre ain't moving from this position. And also, I know Dre every single time is going to give me this 16th note fill in this space.
Mm-hmm.
Dre is going to set this up grand every single time in this space. It doesn't mean you have to play the same exact thing, but you're not going to magically go from a 16th note fill you've been doing all tour to all of a sudden triplets.
Exactly.
You're not going to do that to your artist. Your artist like, yo, what
Hey,
you
man, look like
doing? And it makes it be cool, but there's 5 musicians in the audience. There's 20,000 people that know this song from the radio. No disrespect to my music homies, but I'm not playing for you, bro. I'm gonna make sure that these 20,000 people know this song. The artist is happy, the band feels secure, management, the producers that might come out to the show, the engineers. I want them to be like, yo, I didn't see this going this way, man, but I'm so glad you're playing this.
Man,
That's the moments where I'm like, we won.
we won. We won. Man, and we know this. I mean, you know, when Suits walk in the door,
Yeah.
when TV walks in the door, man, like when unions walk in the door and they're like, this is a fine-tuned machine. That is the highest compliment that
Man.
it goes to the artist. And if anything goes wrong, it's not Dre messed up. It's Teddy Swims drummer messed up. It's Tate McRae
Right.
messed up. Like
Band
we
sounded
are
off.
we are an
Something's wrong with the
extension.
music. Yeah, it's
Something's
always
wrong
that.
with the music.
Yep.
Oh gosh, his band is off. That's that is the perception of what the average listener is gonna say. It's not about
Yes.
musicians. It's not about our musicianships. It sounds good. It looks good. You guys will appreciate it. Musicians will appreciate all because they know what that is. They know what that is.
Yeah.
But for the like you said, for the other 20,000 people in the audience that came to just hear a show and a show that's complimenting the artist that they paid their good money to see,
Yes. Come
you
on,
don't
yeah.
want to be that one that's causing the issues or that's causing the sonics or the feel to even be remotely off. Like, what's the drummer doing? What's the bass player doing? Like,
Yeah.
what's
I
happening?
take that crap personal.
I take it personally.
Yeah, I really
If
do.
if I'm gonna be egomaniac about anything, I'm gonna be egomaniac about the fact that you came to this show that we played and we put so much into, and if I did something that I thought was maybe even sweet, and I go back and listen to it, or I get a review that it wasn't, I do take that personally. I
Yeah.
take personally so much so critically, bro. I'm one of the musicians that goes back and listen to every show that we do. I
Facts.
go back and study and I take notes of my own playing and been like,
Yeah.
this felt good in the moment. Let me see how this translated though in the mix. Let me see how this translated to what I think the audience would hear and see.
Right.
Let me see how this is, if this is enhancing the flow of the music or if this is hindering the flow of the music. There is so many avenues and there are so many ways that we can think that we're killing. And it doesn't have to be big. It does not have to be big. It can be something so small that we think is killing, and it's
Yeah.
actually doing a disservice to the music.
That's a
So
fact.
I'm real. That's why I said going back to the beginning of this conversation,
Mhm.
JJ, what is it that you're looking for from me? What is it that that I need to or start planning for, and what the music vision that Ted gave you that we need to implement all together. DC, what is it that you're looking for? And then, I'm one of the thank God I'm one of the few camps that I actually, we have full real relationships with our artists.
Yeah, real.
If there's really any problem in any given time, I can call Ted myself with
Sure.
JJ on three-way and be like, "Hey, I just want to make sure I'm clear on what it is that you want. Like, Jay, tell me what
Yeah.
is it that you're looking for? Tell me what is it that you want." And then JJ and Ted will, flat out say like, "All right, well, this is what we want to do. This is yada yada." That way, it ain't,
Yeah,
whatever.
no guesswork.
It ain't no guesswork. Now, I
Yeah.
know a lot of situations, it's not, you can't go to the artist. You gotta just, take that up with your MD. But
Mhm.
the front work, y'all, the front work, like knowing what it is that your part is to play in this. This is these levels, and it's not even arena levels. It's the moment that you just get out. Club
Yeah.
levels, theater
Yeah.
clubs, they
Yes.
still have playback. They still have lights. They still
Yes.
have. It doesn't need to be an arena.
Nope.
That's a huge misconception. That is a huge facade. It doesn't have to be arenas and amphitheaters and stadiums.
Right.
Your local clubhouse will have some lights, maybe. Your local theater, the Ritz, the Fillmores, the House
Yeah.
of Blueses.
Yeah.
All of that
All
stuff
that.
is still timed out, and it's still a very adequate show that takes time, preparation. It takes a lot of departments. It takes a lot of movement.
Yeah.
You just want to make sure that you are on top of what you need to do, and you know, and
And
everything.
value that.
Just value that, man.
People
Value,
don't I
value the moment.
yeah, I think people don't capitalize on those moments enough. They think, "Oh, I'm not at the Staples Center, so whatever, whatever it is." It's like, but no, this is the artist that you wanted to go see at the Staples Center. They did this circuit too. You know what I mean? Like they still did this circuit. The House of Blues is the guys. You need to put some attention on this, and this is a great opportunity for you to learn dynamics, learn finesse, and learn how it is when you have a short amount of time. Okay, what types of things do I need to guarantee I ask the monitor engineer for so I can instruct and get through it? You know what I mean? Even if your mix isn't going to be perfect, because at a House of Blues level, you may be traveling with your own people, but sometimes you're not.
Sometimes
Sometimes
it's
you're at the
local
mercy.
models.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you're at the mercy of whoever's local. So even that rapport, I'll always go in early. Even if I have a tech, I'm going in early. If I have house people, I need to know your name.
Yeah,
We need to develop some type of rapport here and trust. So I'm cracking jokes. Yo, have y'all eaten? Y'all got water? Because it matters.
it
You know what I mean?
matters.
And not for, of course, I have a benefit from doing certain things, but also this is a team now. We now have, for tonight, new team members. So my team now needs to be as solid and fun and as light as possible. So if I got someone that feels like they've been working for 12 hours, no one asked them how their day was, no one got them water, no one gives a damn that they had to rechange the set multiple times, they're disgruntled. And
Yeah,
fair.
yeah.
That is fair.
Oh, that
But if
is fair.
we can come in
Absolutely.
and help them out, it's like if you're at these beginning levels, these are the moments that you take the time to learn people's names, have a conversation about what they're, because you're gonna see them again. I promise you, you will see them again.
You have to understand, bro, this industry is so big, but it is so small. Like,
Yes.
it's so big, but it's so small, y'all. Like, and then honestly, how you listen, that I was born in the church. Sometimes I just be throwing it out there. Listen, if you faithful over the few, I
Mm.
promise, if you faithful over the few, if you know how to navigate the small rooms and don't despise your small beginnings, bro, like God will elevate you. Like
Yeah.
the universe will elevate you. If you can walk to your point, you're walking into the House of Blues. You don't know the local hand, the local stage, the local monitor guy, but you build a rapport with him. There's gonna come a day when you're in the arena and you got to you want to have a rapport, not just with the monitor guy that is on salary. You want to have a rapport with the automation. You want to have a rapport
Yes.
with the video team. You want to have a
Yes.
rapport with your front of house because you want to be able to say, "Hey, your mix is killing. I have a vision of this sonically for the drums. How can we blend these?"
There you go.
You ain't finna just walk up to your front of house engineer and say, yo, your drums are trash.
No,
Fix this.
that's crazy.
That's crazy work.
Yeah.
If your ego don't get you fired out the door immediately, the next best thing that's gonna happen is he's not gonna care about your drums at all. You better be glad.
The rest of your tour.
You better hope that you can even be heard the rest of the tour, because he's gonna be like, let me turn these stems up. Let me
I'ma
turn
do
them
what I
back
wanna
tracks
do.
up. Let me do what I want to do.
Yep.
Your ego, your rapport with your entire camp, and then never mind the music. You have to be with these people. Why do you
Yes.
want to be the one to cause conflict or disgruntledness in between the camp? Like, we artist and band, AB party, we regularly go hang with the crew, buy the crew
Yeah.
drink, buy the crew meals. If I know I'm finna eat good and I'm finna go somewhere and we still on a show day or whatever like that, I'll call Sean. I'll call my text so quick and be like, hey, bro, I'm stopping by Starbucks. I'm stopping by,
You
this
need
place to
anything.
get some food. You want a coffee? You want something? And not just my tech, the regular guys that I deal with on the basis, which is our stage So like,
Yeah.
our techs, our stage
Yep.
manager. It's not just inclusive to or exclusive to
Yep.
my drum tech. These are my guys. These are my bros. These are my family, my Twitter
Yes.
family that is making sure that we have what we need to do every single night.
Yeah.
Why would you not want to take care of them the way that they're taking care of you?
Yep.
So this is a big machine. This is a big industry. How you treat people, and it's happening locally. If you treat your local folks like this, that word gets around. That
Yes.
attitude gets around. People are not gonna wanna hire you and not wanna deal with you if you don't even take the time to respect the people that's making sure that you can do what you do on a night by night basis. Because
Yes.
as dope as it is, and as main as the music is, the main thing is the main thing, which is the music. It is
Mhm.
still a small part in this very large production.
Yeah. It's so true. It's so true. So true. People gotta I'm glad you're saying this stuff because people need to realize the importance of taking care of your people. And it's
Taking
not
it.
just musicians take care of your techs and not it's everyone take care of everyone. That's the real thing. Like they of course in for people who may not have toured yet, there's A party, which is the artist, and their TM kind of sits in that space as well. B party, which is typically band dancers, and then C party, which is pretty much everyone else that falls in this roster here. But A and B party, we get treated a certain way because we're the cast, right? And that's understandable, right? We can't get hurt because if any of us gets hurt, literally no one has a job, right? Like it's just one of those things. However, those people in C party matter. They
Matter.
are slaving day in and day out, running 12-hour days, getting 4 in the morning to go build this stage. They don't get done until 2 in the morning. They have to go through the same bus and same travel details we do with a
That we do.
longer day.
Yes.
Yo, you can
Hold on, and
ask
then
them if
hold
they
on.
need
Then
something.
don't forget this detail. Most people forget the A and B party with security and everything. That's normally only maybe 20 people max. Your crew
Facts.
party, is normally
That's the other 80
starting at
people.
50, 60
Yeah,
people.
100%.
I mean, and that's a small setup. Like if you're in
Yes.
an arena tour, the most times than not, the crew is starting at 50 people, 50 to 55
Minimum.
minimum.
Yep.
So you mean to tell me 55 people got to work harder than what I'm doing, and I'm supposed to treat them like crap? No, this is a team.
No.
Like, just because I'm on stage for maybe 2.5, 3 hours out of the day, including sound check, yada
Including
yada, does not include the work that they are in that arena at 6 o'clock in the morning to
or
chalk
earlier.
or earlier, because we've
Yep.
seen earlier. We've seen earlier.
Yes.
They are in that arena first thing, and
Yep.
they still don't leave out until 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock that
Yeah.
same night to turn around and possibly do it again tomorrow.
Yep.
Who are you to have an attitude and to have an ego and to have an air about yourself that you're better than nah.
Never.
I want to talk to Mark, my pyro guy, and make sure I'm not getting blown off with these doggone fires and these fireworks and and dry ice that's going on. No, I want to
Yeah.
talk to, I want to talk to Jordan, a video guy, because I want to be like, hey man, like let's talk about angles. Let's talk about this. Like what looks good sonically for this set. I mean, not sonically, what looks good visually for the
Yeah.
new set? What looks
What do you
good
need from
camera
me?
angles? What do you
Right.
need from me? Like all of
Right.
that good stuff. Let's talk, automation. If you're talking, mobile rigs, guitar
Yep.
boys normally, or
Yeah.
the artists themselves. When we're blocking, what does that look like for me? Well, I want to know I'm safe going up and down this elevator. I want to know I'm safe being in this
Yeah.
popcorn. If we're talking about dancers and y'all got that big old, V set that moves, like how
Yeah.
safe are we up here? Like what does this look like?
Yep.
All of that stuff matters. This is all a big teamwork. So
And they're
just
ensuring your safety exhausted.
exhausted. So the
Yeah,
least you
that's
can do is make sure your team is cool. You need a coffee, you need a nap. Man, do you need me to advocate for you in any capacity? Like,
that. Yes.
you know what I
Yes,
mean? Like,
yes, yes.
do you need me
I
to
will
say,
go to
like,
bat
hey,
for
bro,
you
we
100%.
working the text a little too hard. We may need to reconsider how we're moving. All this stuff is a teamwork, and
Yes.
sometimes it's not that management not thinking about it. It's not the artist that's not thinking about it. It's literally just there's too many pieces, and we need each other. So if just my tech is fried and burnt out, and not because of anything that's going on, but just literally because of the workload,
Yes, it's the
bro,
conditions. Yep.
cool. What can I help with? Like, even as the artist, what can I help with? What can I go on your behalf
Yeah.
to make sure that you're okay? Because I can't do my job if you're not doing your job.
Right. Facts.
It's
It's just
literally
that
that
simple.
it's literally that simple. So
Yeah,
I
people
I,
should
I just
realize that.
and
You
it and it
gotta
and I
protect
mean
them.
it does happen. So and again, all of this is also at local levels. You deal with your local front of house guy at church. You deal with your local front of house guy, monitor guy in corporate.
Yep.
So it's treat people. That's it. That we took 20 minutes to say. Just treat people with love and respect. Like just they take
That's
care of
it.
you, take care of them.
That's it. It's really that simple, man,
It's
and
really that
value
simple.
it. Value the people, value the levels that you're going through. I think we had those moments, man, coming up, and we're just like, "I can't wait, I can't wait. I can't wait for the endorsements. I can't wait for this."
Endorsements.
Sheesh. I get it. I really get it because we were there. We're like, "Man, I can't once I get this drum endorsement and this and then I'll be on the radio." It doesn't work that way.
Uh-uh. Uh-uh.
Okay, so what are some of the things maybe if you can pinpoint some things that maybe when you were younger and you had a perception of the industry that might be different than when you when you arrived?
You hit the main point already. I thought it was gonna be easier once we
Yeah.
got, to this level. Cause
What aspects? The whole thing?
no, not necessarily the whole thing. Um, just in certain ways of like the the being taken care of part. Um,
Sure.
what what a huge misconception is that for as beautiful as touring is, people think it's just all fun and games.
Yeah.
And they don't sit with the experience or the knowledge of what it is to experience the after show lows, the after tour lows,
Yeah.
the moments where you go home and home doesn't feel like home because you've been gone 10 months out the year and you
Oof.
can't even sleep in your own bed without feeling discomfort.
Yep.
Um, the moments where people think that you're having this rock star life, and while there are some privileges and some beautiful moments and experiences that you have, it can be very lonely sometimes because nobody can relate to this. You
Right.
can call your mom, you can call your dad, you can call your brother, your sister, you can call your boys, you can call your friends. If they haven't lived what we're living right now on tour, they will never understand what it is.
Yeah.
And there is a huge high and low in the touring world that everybody encounters. Is
Yeah,
not
everyone.
not inclusive to just, those of artists or the cast, the AB
Yeah.
party.
Yep.
Everybody. Bus drivers all the way down to, bus drivers all the way up to the artists themselves and
Yeah.
management. there is a heavy high and low contrast of touring. I feel like that is number 1, the biggest misconception that I thought touring was. And especially for me personally, especially the coming home part. Like, when you come home and, I know my schedule is a little different, but, just seeing the industry standard, you come home, you be home maybe 2, 3 months. Them 2, 3 months can be long. You
Yeah,
know, you just came off of when you just came off a 6 to 9-month tour, maybe even a year run, and you home for 3 months, and it's just silence,
crickets.
and it's just, what's the next call? What's the next situation? What's the next studio session? What's the next whatever? What's the next programming session? Whatever.
Right.
Well, that is some time to be alone with your thoughts, to reflect after you just got done riding this extremely dope high.
Yeah.
So that's one of the biggest misconceptions, of touring that I've ever experienced. So that's not even the music part.
Yeah.
Music is the no matter what level no matter what industry you in, the higher the level, the more you're gonna be required to perform. If you're in sports, we see it in
Yes.
high school basketball to, college to semi-pro, and then if you're fortunate enough, you make it to the pros.
Yeah.
There's levels to it. There's definitely levels to it.
And there's less prep.
Um, less prep,
That's
more
the thing that shook me up.
yeah,
I thought
less
once we
prep.
got here, I thought, "Oh, I'm gonna have a month's worth of time to sort the music. Everybody's gonna be the most organized." It's the exact opposite.
He's not gonna tell y'all, but Imma tell y'all. I was in UK with them on some personal time. I was in UK. Jarvis came Jarvis came up to me and said, "Bro, I'm tired." He said, "This the last show. I've been up last night till about 3 o'clock in the morning making
Yeah, I
sure
think it
that
was in a
me
new song. Yeah.
making sure me and Darian, who's on the other side of the world,
Yeah.
DJ is in America,
Yep.
Jarvis is in UK, and they
Yep.
doing cross-Atlantic
Trying to figure
sessions,
out what to do
trying to
and
figure
what
out
he
what to
wanted me to
do.
play and all this other yeah.
Ain't no prep time. I wanna do it. You can't say no. Alright, we'll make it work. It'll be done by sound check.
Yeah, you just gotta get it done.
You
It's
gotta get it
just that
done.
simple. Yep.
Now, we may underneath our breath and behind closed doors bitch and complain and moan and all that good stuff. I mean, who's not going to?
Yeah,
But
it's a little frustrating sometimes,
the job
sure.
gotta be done, bro. The job gotta be
That's
done.
it.
Less prep time.
I've just found if you get frustrated or flustered, it gets worse.
I seen that man Jarvis pull off some magic, y'all. Just saying.
Well, thank you, man. I don't know, bro. I think I have so many dope friends. You know what I mean? Like yourself, DJ, Zach, like everybody that I'm blessed to be around and talk to often. Y'all push the standard. So I'm like, I never want to not be in the conversation with my friends. Like
That's
that
real.
just sounds crazy to me. So if you want to stay in the conversation, and I know Dre's shedding. Not only is Dre gone all year and he's getting the reps playing and the experience playing, he's still gonna practice and get all this stuff done. Dre's not leaving. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things that I told I don't remember the gentleman I was talking to, but he wanted to get into our industry and wanted to be, kind of doing what we're doing. And I said, well, you better start practicing. I said, because we ain't going anywhere. You know what I mean? And we've already we have the recognition, we have the resources, we have the reputation, we have the endorsements, we have blah blah. We're already ahead of you and we're not leaving. There's
Yeah.
room for you, but
There's
you know what
room.
I mean? Like I
I'm just
can't
not letting go of my seat so quickly, so easily.
you see what
And
I'm
that's
saying?
the truth
So
of
it's
it, yeah.
like, yo, you gotta lock in and really be able to do what you gotta do. And that to that point, it's like, yo, that means you gotta stay on it. You know what I mean? You got to be able to deliver when Ted is like, "Yo, we're releasing a song. It comes out Friday, but we're gonna do it on Wednesday at the live show." You're like,
And it's Monday night
uh,
that we getting this information, so we only got one good day.
maybe,
And
right?
that's yeah, that's maybe. That may be in
Maybe,
fluid travels because we gotta get there. You know what I mean?
right?
And we don't have the gear. We don't, the mobile studio too. Like all of that stuff is in transit. You ain't got
Right?
nothing. You literally just gotta listen to it. Just listen to it.
Yep.
Have a pair of sticks in your bag. Have a little a MIDI keyboard if you know piano. Our guitar
Yes.
boys carry their own. You gotta be on it yourself. Like
On it.
that is the job. Preparation is none. There is
Yeah,
none. Like
because
you
they
just
have
got.
you out to do this job.
They have you out to do this job. There is no prep. Like that. Thank you for saying that, Jarvis. There,
Yeah.
you- if you- if you're struggling,
Yes.
if you're struggling with learning music that you got a month ago,
Sheesh.
you are never gonna be successful when your artist is like, "Oh yeah, we're working on a new album. We're up to 7 songs right now of potential singles. Learn them all." And only one is gonna get released, but you gotta learn all 7 in a matter of a couple days to have fluidly. And then by the time we get to whatever TV show or whatever performance or whatever like that,
Yep.
oh, okay, this is the song that we're gonna release. This is the one that we need to prep in real time in sound check. You
Yeah.
run it maybe once or twice. All right, cool. This is what we're
At
gonna
the
do.
venue. That's
At the
yeah.
venue,
You're at
like
the venue. This is show day.
like if people if you don't ever if you're watching this and you ever like listen to somebody who's doing an arrangement or whatever like that, and you be like, man, I feel like they could have added a lot more to this arrangement. I feel like they could have, had a couple more special, whatever like that. It's because more than likely they just dropped that song in the box that same day.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
so they're like, nah, we're gonna play what it is, do this maybe one quick little special at the end of the song just to get
At
out of
the
the song.
end. Yeah. Just get out of
Get out
there.
of the
Yep.
song and call
Yep.
it one. There is no prep time in this. You are giving what you're giving. Most times than not, it's a Dropbox or a Google folder, and be
Come
like,
on.
check that joint once a week. And it's
Study up.
always a rotation of songs, always a rotation of set lists, always a rotation of hold on. And then not just that, it's also a rotation of the arrangements. We're
Yes.
gonna do Lose Control TV as opposed to Lose Control Radio, as opposed to Lose Control full version, as a Lose Control tour version. Like,
And then they want to piece it together after.
and
Like, I like this version of verse on this of the TV special, but I want the chorus of the.
but I want the chorus of this, but I want the special, I want the end solo of this. Bro,
All right, cool. But you got to know it
cool.
all. You got to know it all. Like, you got to be able to recall it. You got to be able to know that, bro, I have a master session of all the stuff.
Mhm,
Like, it's in Ableton. So if
mhm.
anytime they call something up, I can reference it as well as a Google, like not a Google, a Dropbox link. Like, to what you're saying, bro. It saved me it saved me and Zach so many times. I just pull it up. We sit in the
Mhm.
green room. Yo, can you solo that part? Solo this, like, loop this section for us. Like,
In the festival, y'all was doing it. Actually,
bro, we had no choice.
the at Lollapalooza, Green Room. I remember then too. Y'all
We
was going through
had
the
no
whole set because it's
a
like,
whole. We gotta learn it. That's it. You
I
know what
don't.
I mean? We had no choice. We had to go to the hotel, learn it, listen to the green room, learn it. It's like,
Yeah, man.
but the thing that reassured me, because everyone's doing it. That's the thing I think people, musicians especially, forget. Oh, you're giving this to me last minute. Okay, yes. But that's also the artist. That's also the dancers. That's also the LD. That's also the videographer. That's also the pyro. Everyone's getting new time code now. That's not just you. So the LD is now having to program in the same amount of time that you got it. The choreographer is now having to choreograph something in the same amount of time, and the dancer still got to learn it. Like,
Because
there's
they have to play what your arrangements, your musical arrangements is also going hand in hand of what they're dancing. So you got to make
yes,
all these departments are all coinciding and talking to each other. That's why I said, like, we're small,
a
y'all. We're
small
small.
part
Like,
of it,
it's
man.
it's a very big element. It's a very big machine.
Yeah,
That's very true, Jarvis. The
just
prep
chill
time.
out.
The prep
Just
time.
relax.
Oh, the prep time.
Because if you freak out, it doesn't go well for anybody. Because then
No.
you're only thinking about, oh, how annoying this might be to have to learn this song. But bro, I'm like, we're getting, bro, when we doing those festivals, we play to 150,000 people.
Every night, bro.
That's insane.
Every night.
What am I complaining about again? Having
Learning
to
music.
learn a song.
A job that I want to do, a job that I get paid pretty nice to do, to travel the world
Right.
to 150 people, 150,000 people every night.
That was insane. So it's like, dog, I've learned early on when we kind of, to bring it back, was that was one of the things I learned. Because now I thought, because, oh, we're at this level, of course you guys are a well-oiled machine, everything's flushed out. It's not that it's not flushed out. They're also just dealing with the radio show. They have the late night shows. They have this other TV special. Then they have a festival thing they have to do. And on top of tour, they still got to prep and route for. And then this thing is happening in the middle of it. And then we have an acoustic set that's happening. And then they have a taping it. No,
You got
it's not that they're
you got
not
a
prep.
bus thing, you got all of that. Like,
There's just so many more elements that are happening right now. Sorry, man. Your thing is just not that pressing in the grand scheme of what we have to do for this artist, because let's not forget, we are all here for the artist.
their
There's
vision.
not one aspect of anybody who's here that is not here to support whoever's name is on this marquee. You gotta chill out, yo. Like you gotta learn to be adaptable and moldable, and you gotta be able to make a switch. You know, you and I can joke all day. Yeah, I mean, blow one down for the culture, do whatever we got to do all day. But as soon as JJ's like, "Yo, Dre, we here," that changes everything.
Lock down.
You got to lock in. It's nothing else matters. If D's like, "Yo, we got to move," we're moving. I don't know. There's nothing else to discuss right now. We're
Exactly.
on the move.
Tell me what
That
that looks
level
like.
is
It looks like, and we there.
that's it. We're on the move, and I think that pivots me to my last thing I want to talk to you about is what do you think separates the people that are up and coming versus the people that are sitting in spaces like us, the Dev Stick Taylors? What are those things that you think is separating them from reaching this level that we're talking about right now?
Um, I'm not saying this in any way, y'all. I know a lot of people don't necessarily know me personally, but those who know me will know what I mean when I say this. We have to get out this entitlement that just because we can play or just because we're connected to certain people that we deserve
Mm,
the next slot. That's number one. Because nobody is deserving or owed anything.
yeah,
You know, we worked hard to where we are. You know, I often tell people, well, I am often asked, like, how do you handle all of this? Do you have imposter syndrome and things of that nature? Because, you know, being at
sure.
this level can do that. Respectfully, no, I don't have imposter syndrome. I put in my 10,000 hours of my craft. I put in my dues of my craft. I put in my losses and my wins to get
Yeah,
to where I am. Like, I deserve to be here. I deserve to be in this place and in this space that God has blessed me to be in.
sure.
Um, and I don't feel entitled to it. It could all stop tomorrow, and I will be super grateful and appreciative of what has been.
Yeah,
And I think one of the main things that I've seen in my lifetime that has put me to this position is Usher and Aaron Spears.
yeah.
Uh, for those who are not familiar,
Funk Rock Orchestra.
Funk Rock Orchestra was Usher's long-standing band from about
Yeah,
2002. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jarvis. About 2002 to about 2014, 15-ish.
that sounds about right. Don't hold us to this,
Don't hold us
folks.
to that. So that was still
Sheesh.
about a good 13, 14 years. And
Or
out of nowhere
longer
out of nowhere, I mean, literally out of nowhere,
that we
Aaron
saw anyway.
Aaron and the guy well, at least from what we saw from
Yeah,
public eye views, Aaron and
right.
the guys, Aaron Valdez, all the guys, they just got released.
Yeah,
It happens. It happens. Fro was an extension of Usher. Freak Freely is an extension of Teddy. If
right.
he says tomorrow he wants to stop this, cool. Thank you, bro. It's been amazing. It's been a blessing, really. It's changed my life.
Truly.
It truly has been a blessing. I'm
Yeah,
not entitled to this gig. I
right.
worked hard to be here. I don't have imposter syndrome. Like, I'm very confident that this is my place and space for this time and this moment.
Mhm.
But if it changes, it doesn't make me entitled to be like, Teddy, I spent all these years with you and I built this with you and yeah, you owe me. No,
Right.
there's no entitlement to anybody else's platform. And
We
I
don't
think
owe you
that's
anything.
they don't owe you anything just because you can play, just because you can be that person. And even talking with Dev, you know, you brought up his
Mhm.
name. Even talking with, you know, the CJs, even talking with
All
the
family, by the way.
all the family. The main thing that the common denominator that I see with people who are working versus people who strive to work, the
Yeah.
ones who are working genuinely just love the game. You
Yeah.
have to be
Yeah.
in love. You have to be in love with this game to really do it because it's
Yeah.
not all the beauty that people think it is. Like there is long, long days and even longer nights there is sleep deprivation. There are, moments of crashing out internally. There are moments of, second guessing and doubt and stuff like that. There is a lot that you mentally and physically and spiritually have to be strong for to
Yeah.
deal with this. And your entitlement thinks that just because you can play means you deserve. But God and the universe knows that you can't handle what this is for real, for real.
Woo!
And so, like, I would encourage everybody, like,
Yeah.
for real, like, if you want the next level, you really need to say to yourself, you need to be real with yourself, and you need to be real with whatever it is that is your moral compass, whether that's a God, whether that's a Allah, whether that's a, universe, source, whatever. You
Sure.
need to meditate and be in your own place and say, like, can I handle what it is to tour on a high level? Because I hear these stories, I hear these podcasts, I hear these testimonies of people who are where I want to be. It sounds beautiful, but it also sounds like it's a lot. Can I really deal with that? And
Yeah.
then second of all, after you get to that point and you figure out where it is in your life that if you can handle it or can you not, do you also have the work ethic to get there? Because it's not just
Man.
about if you can handle it, but you also have the work ethic. You have to
Yep.
be able to say, I can be fast and proficient on my instrument. I can be fast
Yes.
and proficient in, programming and arranging and MDing. I can
Yeah.
be fast and proficient in my tech world. Whether that's, instrument backline tech, whether that's audio engineer, whether that's playback engineer, whether that's
Yep.
automation, pyro, the whole nine. Are you efficient in your knowledge of your craft and the work ethic to do this on a high level every day? Because I kid you not, if y'all know, if anybody's watching this, if you know anybody on an arena level tour, on a amphitheater level tour, ask them to ask them to follow them around a whole day. Just
Yeah.
ask if you can just shadow them, just
Yep.
one day, and you will quickly be able to see, like, if this is something that you can deal with or if this is something that you can't, because it's not what everybody think it is. Everybody sees the glitz of it, but it's so much to the camaraderie, the
Mhm.
accountability, the preparation, the proactiveness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like shows that we're doing in fall, we're already advancing. We've already advanced. I've already had to send off backline lists to
Yeah.
one-offs. I've already had to send off stuff. I mean months that I don't even know the date that we're
Yeah,
doing.
exactly. Yeah.
They're
Yep.
just like, hey, we got this coming up. This is what the situation is. This is what we need you to do.
Yeah.
What do you need to do this? It's stuff like that. Like if your mind is more on a like reactive instead of a proactive, like
Right.
you may want to reconsider. It's all personality traits. I feel like everybody who's working in the industry, number one, loves this game and is making the necessary sacrifices to be here because
Yeah.
it is heavy. It is not what people necessarily think it is. And let me
It's
tell
the
you that
details too.
it's the details. It is
The
so
details
many
for me. Yeah.
details. It is so many details. Like, if we're talking the musician side, guys, y'all, it's no exaggeration to say, like, me and Jarvis and the Sticks and everybody, we know probably 15 versions of one song, of just one song. And you're talking about a set list that necessarily has maybe 15 to 20 songs.
Right.
At minimum, if we're,
Yep.
let's be real, like, I think,
Assuming no mashups.
assuming no mashups,
Yep.
assuming no transitions, no interludes, no intros, outros,
Mhm.
like, y'all, it's a lot of details going on. And then if you're not just mentally here and if you're not sound and aware of yourself, like, your emotions can throw you off, your day can throw you off, your home life can throw you off, you know, it all happens. We've all missed birthdays. We've all missed funerals. We've all
Whew.
missed weddings. We've all missed
Life.
major milestones of life.
Yes.
If you're not ready to deal with that, this is not going to be the industry for you. Like, it's just
Yeah.
not. So I
And that's
feel like,
okay.
and
Like
that
that's
is okay. That is okay.
and you can still make a living as a musician. That's not a deterrent saying, "Oh, being a musician is over for you." No, no, no,
Yeah.
no, no, no.
Man,
Just
listen,
touring is
Nashville,
not the way.
bro, Nashville, and I know you talked about this with some of the other guys.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
With the guys, you talked about, like, where, if you want to go to another city, do something different. There is a city for everything. You want
Yep.
to do TV or you want to do Broadway, you take your butt up to New York. You want
Yep.
to do, if you want to just do a more local life, go to Broadway Street. It's a tough circuit to get in Nashville though.
Right. But that's where you got to be
Nashville,
though.
Nashville, them Broadway boys, they're making
Yeah.
nice money
Yep.
to play bars
Yep.
Monday through Saturday. I
Yep.
think Sunday is like really their only day that may be a little weird. But
Sure.
I know people personally who are okay and make a healthy living playing
Mhm.
Broadway, and that's it.
And they're
Like,
good.
it's it, and they good. There's a lane for everything. There's TV and award shows and artists and management and labels and stuff like that in LA and Atlanta and Miami. Dallas, Texas is coming up a little bit more
Texas
too.
is coming up. Yeah.
Yeah, Texas. I mean, so there are lanes everywhere. Chicago. I don't want to forget, the home spot.
Right.
Chicago. It's so much. Like, y'all, it's so many places that you can be, so many, areas and genres and avenues and industry sub areas of the industry that you can be in.
100%.
It depends on what you want to do. Touring is not for everybody. It is not. It is not for everybody. Just like, respectfully, I can't be Broadway. Like, I
Right.
can
Right.
read.
Yes.
I can read, but shout out to my bro Q. Q
Q.
Robinson. You just had him on the show.
Yeah.
Q Robinson is one of my mentors from Atlanta. He's now living in New York because of Broadway.
Right.
What I've seen him do, what I've talked to him about, what he does on a Broadway set is
Insane.
another mental beast that I don't know if I could do right now.
I don't know. I really don't know. I'm with you.
And
I'm with you.
and I know like Broadway is actually a different type of beast. Like,
Yes.
a different type of beast. So
Yep.
there's lanes and there's areas for everybody. And for those who are striving to work, it matters not anything if you don't, number one, know who you are and what you can and can't tolerate. And also in that, kill your ego and your entitlement and know that whatever that you choose to do, unless your name is on the marquee, unless
Right.
you are the artist yourself,
Right.
you are helping somebody else's vision.
Yeah. I have to agree with it. Details to me, I think are something that the younger generation is missing. I think to your point, they're missing the personal thing. They don't know who they are. And I think I have my own suspicions of why I think technology is kind of screwing people up a little bit right now. But there's a big part of this where you're seeing younger cats talking, I want to do what you do. I'm, all right. And then we start having a conversation. And then I'm like, okay, well, have you exhausted all the options where you live? Well, not really. And then they have a bunch of excuses. And I'm like, well, okay, well, let's stop here. This is the foundation. If your work ethic is not solid now, if your awareness is not solid now, if you're not understanding how to leverage what you're able to do where you are right now, only thing you're about to do is move to a more expensive area with a terrible work ethic. That's the only thing you're about to do. Because you're not going to magically move out to LA and think, oh, now I'm going to grind. No, you're not.
No.
It's not how it's going to work. It's going to be more discouraging because one, no one knows you. You don't know the area. You don't know what's about to happen. Your rent just got exponentially higher. You have to have a car. Like, there's so many other things. And it doesn't mean you can't do it. It's just you need to understand who you are and start developing this trait early. Because once you get to the Dre space when he's now playing for Teddy Swims, this isn't just rainbows and butterflies. This man had to learn a bunch of stuff before he got there. And then because of what he went through in the business and how he's navigated from music on and off the court, then he was able to handle the Teddy Swims account. That's the difference. It's those details of understanding what we're talking about. That small church that only had 25 people you played to, and then the pastor hated drums, so you had to play some 16-inch cymbals and blah blah because they didn't want it to be loud. Okay, learning how to navigate that space and figuring out how to play musically, but still giving the dynamics. Okay, cool. And then you moved up to the local club, and now you're at 100 people, but they're all drunk and not paying attention to what you guys are playing. Okay, are you okay with that? Did you like that feeling? That's where I went. It was like, yo, I was doing things, and I didn't like being something that just happened to be there. People were just gonna go to the local bar no matter what.
Yeah.
And then we just happened to be playing that night. That didn't feel good to me. but it doesn't mean I couldn't have made a good living doing it. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah,
all those
you
stepping
was
stone.
aware to know that that's not the space that you wanted to be in.
I can't
You're
do it.
excelling in this space, but that's not and even to your point in details, I mean, you're talking details and exhausting options. I see stories and I hear stories all the time of like, you know, uh I want to be where you are. And to your point, all right, well, did you go hit every single, open jam session in your city? Did you go reach out to the OGs in your city who are working? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and not even hitting them up for gigs, hitting them up for guidance, hitting them up for like, just, hey, like,
Yes.
I feel like I'm stuck in a rut. You're where I want to be. Can you help me get some tools and some leverage to, get to the next journey in my life or the next avenue in my life? If you're not already punching every single open jam session at Mint Club in LA, at Apache
Yeah.
in Atlanta, at whatever the spot is in, Chicago and whatever the spot is in New York, if you're not already like punching every single open night jam session, if you're not trying to actively already get into every studio session as a producer, if you're not already trying to, hit your local union department for, tech work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you don't already have the proactiveness to do that on a basic level,
Yes.
you're not gonna get to where you want to go. Because if you ask me, what do I need to do? And I say, well, you need to one, get outside. You need to start posting, actual clips of you playing and not just in your studio because, as good as you sound in your studio, it's still only in your studio. You could have did this on 100 takes. You got one time to get it
Right.
so right.
Could
You
have
got one time to take it
quantized
so right.
it, could have done sound replacement, man. You could
Could
have
have did
done
sound
the
replacement. You could have
works.
AI, whatever. We got AI now, yada yada. You could have doctored that joint up to sound perfect.
Yeah.
I need to see some clips of you playing, even if it is locally or whatever. I want to see some clips of you playing with the
Yes.
actual band in real time.
Yes.
Let me see how you deal with atmospheric pressures. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like, what do you, and you know this, how do you play when the audience is not giving you the response that you're looking for?
Right.
Like, how do you manage these rooms where it doesn't feel like the vibe is even really messing with the music? Because let me tell you something, that's something that you're gonna deal with in every level. We sometimes
Oh,
play
yeah.
private gigs that, respectfully, you playing to a bunch of suits. It's gonna give the are you not entertained vibes. You're
Right.
playing to people who's eating, you're playing to people who's already drinking, having conversations,
Mhm.
even being Teddy Swims. You're there just to give entertainment.
That's
You're
it.
that stuff happens. And if you're
Yep.
not okay with who you are and what it is that you're looking for, like how do you deal with those atmospheric pressures?
Right.
So, it's just a lot of like I need the details to be there. I need your work ethic to be there. I need your self-awareness to be there because, those are ultimately all the things that will help you have a long-standing, career. And whatever decision and route that you choose to make,
Yeah.
you have to be you have to be cognitive of the route that you want to go and then have the work ethic to put yourself on the road that you want to be on.
Yeah.
And if it's God led and if it's God ordained, if it's universe, if the universe and God says it's the right time for you, then it will happen. But you have to start walking and showing God and the universe that you want it first. It's not going to just pop up for you.
And you can
Because if it
handle
just
it.
pops up for you, you're
Yeah.
not gonna appreciate it, or you're not gonna really have the knowledge and experience that's needed to, deal with this avenue in this space in the first place.
Big
Everybody can
facts.
play drums. Everybody can play keys. That's the easiest part.
Yeah.
That is the job. That
Music is
is
the
the
easiest
job.
part. Yeah.
That's the easiest part.
Yep.
But
I
you have
agree.
to be able to navigate management, personalities, your personality,
Yes.
your endorsement. And right quick, not just
No, go
endorsements.
for it.
Stop chasing endorsements. And I had to learn this myself. Stop
Why?
chasing endorsements. And the reason why I say stop chasing endorsements is because um it's getting to a point now where it's seeming like folks are going for the endorsements for more of the recognition as opposed to just playing the brand that they want to play or it validates who you are as a musician. We feel like endorsements equals validation.
Right.
and that's not the case. Endorsements are not gonna make and break you. There are plenty of musicians right now that are world-class musicians that don't have endorsements, don't even want them,
Yes.
respectfully, like, don't
Yep.
even want them, and that goes into a whole 'nother conversation that,
Yeah.
why but there's a whole world out here where you don't need endorsements to work, to survive, to, be relevant, to validate you. You don't need it. And honestly, endorsements brings more headaches. Like y'all thinking that it's just,
It can.
it can bring more headaches because now you're responsible for again another brand. So
Yes.
again, another brand that you have to represent. You can't just be all willy-nilly the way you want to. You can't just move any way that you want to. There are contracts, guys. There
Yeah.
are
Oh, yeah.
contracts. There are legalities, there are
Yeah.
scopes, there are
Oh,
still things
yes.
of if you playing TV, I don't care what the back line says, it better be some zildjian symbols up there for you,
You
Jarvis.
doggone
It better
right.
be some Indian symbols up there for you, Dre. It better be some Vic
Doggone
First
right.
Stick symbol. That's the more you're giving, the more you're required to manage,
Yes.
and that's endorsements are not a validation of who you are as a musician, but more a tool to help you when you get to certain levels to sustain your success. It's
Yeah, I
not
think,
anything else.
endorsements are my consistency.
That's just your consistency. That's
That's
it.
really it,
You
and
sustain.
I love all my reps. My reps are rock star people, they're
Facts.
phenomenal. But it's not I think oftentimes our the youth thinks it's sign and I'm just gonna say a random name, sign with Meinl, you get free, and then that's it then it's over. Nope, that's not how this works. You might get free, maybe, depending on what your deal is. Oftentimes, it's a percentage off. You get an artist pricing because you're new to the roster,
Mhm.
unless you're a name already, right? If I took someone in like a Devin Six Taylor or something, or a Stanley Randolph, they could
Mhm.
probably negotiate their deal a little bit differently because they're well established. I mean, they're phenomenal people and musicians.
Of course.
So their bargaining chips are a lot different. But for the masses here, you
The
know,
mass.
you're not gonna walk in, it's just gonna be free and then the conversation's over. No, no, me giving you something means I need to receive something in return. And vice versa. This is a
Vice
partnership
versa.
now. So people I think are really forgetting that in the youth space. And I get it. Shit is expensive right now.
Shit is expensive.
I get it, man. I really do. And musicians, I trust me, especially drummers, I get it. I just because we were just talking about I did full manifest of all my gear. I know how expensive this stuff is. I just had to put
Yeah,
it all down. I
yeah,
feel y'all, but please don't try to chase something because of just the money. The
yeah.
money will come and your opportunities will come in. And also, we're talking to you as people who are fully endorsed. So I understand if you're on the outside, it's like, yeah, these guys, blah, blah. But let me also reassure you, there was a time
There
where
was
I'm
a time
playing in a stadium with zero endorsements.
and being
Somehow
real.
I got
Go ahead.
all the things I needed, right? And it's because we submit riders. Whatever you put on your rider, as long as you're not being outrageous, they're probably going to get it for you. So you have to do the job. So don't worry so much about not having the endorsement. Play what you want. Make sure the sound is solid. Make sure you're comfortable. Make sure you're able to get the artist vision across from what you're choosing and not just playing Zildjian because it's Zildjian or not playing Sabian because it's Sabian. Play them because you enjoy them. Play because it's getting the
Exactly.
sound you like. You just made a drum switch. And that's probably the last thing I want to talk to you about. Dang, we talk over 2 hours, bro.
Hey, bro,
But
we just fellowshipping right now.
yeah,
What you mean?
exactly. This is what we do all the time. But
Exactly.
what made you make a switch in assuming that everything was, on the up and up, it's just a personal decision. What made you make the switch to the newest company that you're with?
Well, by the time that this drops, it will be fully announced, but
Okay,
I am with Loyal by Noble and Cooley.
amazing.
Um, and what what made the switch for me personally, nothing bad on SJC at all.
At all.
Phenomenal family, phenomenal drums, phenomenal support. I mean, literally top tier. Um,
Yeah.
I would encourage anybody, and I even said this offline. Jarvis is
Yeah,
my right hand.
100%. We had a
I
whole
I s
conversation about it.
I have nothing bad to say about the family at SJC. Zach and the whole team, like, amazing guys.
Yeah.
Just felt it just felt like a time that, what I was looking for my own personal, branding and things of that nature. I made the switch, more so not even from the drum perspective, themselves, because, you know, uh humbly saying this, and Jarvis, you know what I mean. Once you do get endorsed, the drum parts are so easy. You can build a
Yeah.
custom kit. You can get any type of drums that you want, from any of the company that you choose to rep. You can build custom drums, or you can have a series that's already manufactured.
Yep,
Maypac, you can
absolutely.
get the Saturns. Pearl, you can get the reference Pures.
Yeah, yep,
Yamaha, you can get the Phoenix series.
yeah,
But you can also customize drums. So it had nothing to do actually with the drums themselves, because every drum company makes phenomenal drums.
facts.
I actually stand on that. I feel different about cymbals. I feel different about sticks, stuff like that. And I'm not gonna give my personal takes on those.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But I feel like every drum company really makes amazing drums, especially when they
yeah,
started getting to the custom levels. I made the switch mainly because of the mission behind Loyal by Noble and Cooley. Loyal
mm,
to the Craft, started by SJC founder Mike Kapari, is definitely more uh, giving back to the youth and giving back to the musician community, School of Rocks and
mm,
stuff like that. So it's a lot of just mission field endeavors and things that we're diving into to use the platforms that we do have to give back and inspire.
yeah,
One thing that I wish OGs did more is actually talk and give insight and give stories and really be hands-on with the next generation of musicians. Because I've
sure,
seen so many times musicians of all older musicians of all ages and races and spaces and genres. It's
mhm,
almost feeling like kind of gate kept of
sure,
how to really make it to the next level, and or not even just making it to the next level, but just in musicianship in totality. Like, I don't like the preconceived notion that just because I am who I am and I play for who I play for, I'm not good enough to answer DMs, or I'm not good enough to, talk to kids. I'm not good enough to no, like, I am a
yeah,
human just like they are. I have feelings just like they have. And I remember what it was like to reach out to, bigger guys when I was coming up, and them leaving me on red. And I know social media is different, whatever. And I remember
sure,
them leaving me on red, or not even taking the time to just be accessible in totality to the next level. So, loyal to the craft is really about giving back to the next community of musicians in the next age range, and it's not just myself. There are quite a few people that's already signing on to this endeavor as well. I'm not the only one. It's not my place to, name drop. That'll happen when
yeah,
it needs to
yeah,
happen.
yep,
But it was more so just, I want to make sure that one of my legacies that comes from my music is that, hey, like, Dre was present and Dre wanted to give back and Dre wanted to use his platform to, inspire, hands-on inspire, not just, you see me on Instagram, you see me at a show. Like,
right,
I always want to feel touchable to the next musicians that's, reaching out. And so, it really was more, across that line of endeavors.
yeah, align with the brand,
Yeah. And, so, you know, uh, it has nothing to do with SJC drums, the
right,
product, people, the company, then the whole nine. But it
yeah,
had everything to do with what I feel like I want in my next level of musicianship and my next journey of my career, the next space.
yeah,
So, I left amicably. I
of
left,
course,
respectfully, the whole nine. Like,
yep,
still love to Zach and everybody, is it will always be that. But I am now with Loyal by Noble and Cooley. So
nice, man,
uh,
congrats.
Man, I appreciate that. I'm still with all my
Yeah.
other ones, I
Yeah.
Say
We'll work on it.
Henry first, Evans, all that.
Yeah.
I love my boys, but
We'll
so
we'll
no,
work
it's just
on bring
it's some major things coming up, some major, projects and outreaches and everything. And even on a personal note, Jarvis, offline, I want to talk to you about, getting in some projects as well.
yeah, whatever you need.
But I already know. But yeah, so I mean, shout out to SJC, shout out to, Loyal by Noble and Cooley and everything, and
Yeah.
much love to respect to everybody. So that is the official verbal announcement on podcast. But
I love
um
it, man.
by the time this drops,
Yo,
the
yo,
official
I'll wait until your announcement is out for sure.
my
But that's
boy.
a perfect segue, man. Tell the people what you're doing, and I also want to co-sign something. He's not blowing smoke. Dre is very reachable. And if you're looking for information, he does do mentorships, he does do consultations. And I want to also add this for anyone who is wants to do stuff like that with any musician. Paying them is not a thing of like they need your money. It's just to solidify their time to devote to you specifically. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So if Dre decides to hit you at a rate, which is totally fair, pay it. That way he can devote his undivided time to you to help you with whatever that is. If it's analyzing your videos, if that's helping you with your career aspect, if it's whatever that is for you, it's beneficial to do certain things like that with anyone that you look up to and their playing resonates. So what's coming up for you? And then where can also people reach you so they can to be a part of your journey and get some advice if they're looking for that or just to support Dre?
Yeah, absolutely. First thing first, easily reachable on all social media platforms at DreH2341, DRE2341. That's IG, that's Threads, that's
What's the
Facebook.
numbers for? Is that just random
Man,
numbers that are
crazy enough,
available?
crazy enough, it's when I was younger, I just always liked the sequence of 234 for whatever reason,
Okay, fair.
and then,
Yeah,
I just always like the sequence of 234. And then, because my main number is 23, that was the day I
I
was
see.
born. And then, um, I was born on the 23rd, and then 441 makes 5, which makes my birth month. So actually, it's
I
it's
see.
it's kind of random, but it's still kind of sequenced in my head. Like
Yeah,
I
for
do love
sure.
234, but yeah. So the numbers is just 2341. But Dre H 2341. That's all the socials. Um, Gmail, that is my work Gmail as well, DreH2341. That's,
Mhm.
most of my business inquiries, consulting inquiries, the whole nine. What I have coming up, we have a festival tour coming up June and July,
Nice.
for Europe and UK, to tease the leg that we're going to be doing for next year.
Let's go.
But we toured the USA fall this year, September, October, November. Dates have already been announced. Tickets are already on sale. If
Yes.
you're looking to buy tickets, uh, I am facing the stage on the right hand side of the stage this year.
The shameless plug. If you wanna,
Shameless.
yeah, I mean,
If you wanna see me play, like I'm on
right.
facing the stage, I'm on the right hand side of the stage. But
Respect.
nah, but super easy to find, super easy. I do everything Teddy Swims. So if you see a Teddy Swims date, I will be there. If I'm
Be
ever
there.
not there, it's legit an emergency type situation. But I am full time with Teddy Swims. So anything Teddy Swims, you'll see me there. The fall tour. We have unofficially announced we have the next 2 years worth of touring. So next year will be the world tour. I can announce that the next year will be the world tour. We're doing USA this fall. Next year will be the
Wow.
world tour. So by the time this drops, just keep an eye out, keep an ear out for anything Teddy Swims. I'm super approachable. I'm always game to hang out locally, if time permits and things of that nature. So if there's anything that's going on around your city, or open mic jam, or anything else like that, me and the guys, I do speak for
They
them,
really
right?
are like that. They
We
will
we
dip
we
out
we'll
and
pull up. Yeah, we'll
hang.
pull up.
Yeah,
We'll
they
come
really
hang
are.
out. We just love having good vibes and having good times.
Right.
So I'm always around. I'm always outside. You got my socials. Coming up though, inside of all of the touring schedule and anything and stuff like that, I did just mention this. Loyal to the craft has quite a few events coming up. I'll let them announce it, but you can follow them on social medias,
Okay.
Loyal to the Craft. Micah Perry, shout out to him. And all of the endeavors that we'll be having coming up soon will be getting rolled out in the next few months. So
Yes,
just a lot
sir.
of a lot of beautiful things coming up, a lot of community outreach coming up, a lot of touring coming up,
Right.
and that's why I'm enjoying my rest now. But you can find me anything Teddy Swims or Loyal to the Craft, and
Love.
that's
And
it.
we'll plug
That's
everything too. So y'all gotta write it down. Just quick.
absolutely just
y'all
click
are be
click and go.
y'all be smooth, man. Well, Dre, man, I appreciate you carving out your time for me, bro. I know you're one of the busiest cats right now. So thank you for just making time to be on the platform. We
Oh man,
appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you having me, brother. I mean, we chop it up all the time, but you
Yeah.
told me about and I'll say this in laughs and jokes, y'all. We tried to get this together like 2 months ago, and
Yeah.
I had a lot going on.
You know, I had to
Jarvis
reschedule some stuff.
Yeah,
He had to,
Jarvis
it's
has some
just
stuff coming up because some dates came up for him. Jarvis really is one of my boys, solid. I'm so happy for your platform. I'm so happy for everything that you're doing,
thank you, bro.
off the kit and everything as well. I know I got what I got going on, but I'm just publicly giving you your flowers as well. I'm
Man,
proud
thank
of the
you.
things that we talk about online and offline. So
Yes, sir.
can't wait to see everything that you got rolling out as well. And
Yeah.
appreciate you so much for having me, my brother, for sure.
Love.
Appreciate it.
Well, thanks everybody. Appreciate y'all.
We appreciate y'all.
Off script,